Bitcoin's on a bounce. How high, I hear you ask. Let's see if we can figure that one out. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. Happy Monday to you. I hope your week has started as green as Bitcoin's. Alright, so as promised from yesterday's video, I wanted to check in to see what had happened to my predefined momentum indicator being the MACD with regards to where it was relative to the zero line. And as you can see, it's really close now. So close. So I think this is a completely valid number. And so it won't cross below the zero line until Bitcoin closes a weekly, very specific, below 54,000. And where is that on the chart? That is, it's actually above both of these wick lows here. So it's fairly close to my blue line. So that is interesting. But remember, that is for weekly closures. So a lot can happen between now and then. It's not going to turn back up, however, until Bitcoin, or it will only turn back up this week if Bitcoin closes above 61.5. I think this is unlikely. I think this has got a chance. It's got a chance. And I'll just remind you that when the MACD on a weekly time frame is below the zero line, generally it's not good. So it last crossed below the zero line here. Here. Not good. It crossed back above the zero line roughly there. Very good. It got close here, but didn't cross below. Good. So, and it doesn't take the brains of an archbishop to go back and just look at what happens with the price when the MACD is consistently above or below the zero line. That's why I use it. I don't trade it on its own though. If you trade that on its own, you're probably not going to make as much money as you could otherwise. But there we are. So yes, perilously close to closing below the zero line, but not there. And actually, the number for it to close below has come up significantly high to 54,000. Right, I'm going to jump now down to the daily. And you can see now a nice bounce. Now, I had this line on yesterday or the day before. And what I wanted to see for this downside move here to become less significant was indeed a bounce, break above that support resistance line, and a retest, and then, well, ideally getting back above here, but probably more realistically getting above 60,000, so getting above here. That would look really good. That would look good for basically just continuation of this consolidation without further breakdown. It wouldn't necessarily mean that it's all off to the races for the price skyrocketing, but it would just mean that this move down is unlikely to cause a breakdown. Now, what's going on? So that's still relevant, I think. Now, what's going on with the momentum on the daily? Well, you can see, depending on where Bitcoin closes tonight, and it's still got nearly 4 hours to go, it's got a chance of turning the MACD back to the upside. It will indeed continue on that trajectory of moving back up, as long as Bitcoin closes today's candle above 55.5. So, yeah, somewhere just above this support resistance area. Ignore the crosses above the zero line because we're way too far away. So I wouldn't be going out shouting everyone buy Bitcoin again at this point, but I think Bitcoin's got itself a bit of a chance here. And I think it probably depends on what happens for the rest of the week, bearing in mind that 54,000 for the MACD to close below the zero line on the weekly. So I think, yeah, by the end of the week, hopefully things will be clearer. I'm going to quickly check in on the 4 hour. You can see the 4 hour hasn't quite, well, it says it has crossed above the zero line, but I mean barely, by the skin of its teeth, I would suggest. And it's quite close to crossing back below the zero line, 56.5, call it. It's at 56.8 at the moment, with another 4 hours to go before this candle closes. So yeah, momentum on the 4 hour is trying its best to shift back to the upside, but you can still see a sequence of the trend is still very much the downside on the 4 hour here. And I would be so bold to say that that will remain to be the case. Where would I switch? Yeah, probably there. So about 58. About 58. If Bitcoin can start to close 4 hours above 58,000, it's probably got a chance to get somewhere close to 60, and that'll sort of one thing, before the next. No obvious divergence on that. Is there a divergence on the daily? From this low to this low? Not really. No, not really. No, I can see on the MACD. I haven't got the RSI on there, which is probably a better way to look at for divergence. But I'll have a look. Yeah, go on, we'll have a look. I'll have a quick look at the RSI. Just really to see if there's any bullish divergence off the last couple of lows. So you can see here, this low here. So yeah, that's a tricky one because it depends if you're talking about closures or not. If you're talking about closures, there probably is some bullish divergence on the daily RSI. If you're talking about wicks, it's not so obvious. But there probably is a bit of momentum gaining steam here to the upside. Yeah, I think generally you can see the lows on the RSI there are getting higher, and from here the lows have been lower, more or less. So that's a bullish divergence. So it's interesting, but clearly you've got to wait for it to play out, and they don't always play out. Have I got anything else to say on this fine Monday? I don't think so. I think I'll leave it at that. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please like and subscribe, and join me tomorrow for Tuesday. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.